Welcome back here, everyone. I've talked before about the Academy Awards and how over the years it has just gotten to the point where most people aren't really interested in it anymore, and usually for good reason. Because when you get into what has been happening and how much this entire movement of film and entertainment has just been dragged down by people who are so narcissistic that they need to see themselves everywhere and see this and represent that and all kind of stuff. It's no longer about talent and, about having good movies and good actors and that. No, they want representation and they don't care if it destroys everything along the way. Some people have come out and talked about it publicly and said that, they're not going to be falling for that. And rightfully so, I support them with that. One recent person who came out and talked quite openly about how they're disgusted by the way these things are happening is Richard Dreyfuss. Right, now let's get into this article here. Jaws star Richard Dreyfuss blasts the Academy Awards' new inclusion standards. I don't think there is a minority or a majority in the country that has to be catered to like that. Now, this is coming from Bounding into Comics, and he is quite right. That's the way to put it. He's quite 100% right. We've been catering and pandering and doing everything possible to make these people feel like, so thing, because they're like big children, really big children. Let's get into it, and as I go along, I'll give you my views on what he has to say. Richard Dreyfuss, the Oscar-winning actor known for his roles in such blockbusters as Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, recently weighed in on the current state of the film industry, sharing that he's not very fond of the forced inclusivity we've seen in recent years. I agree with that. In September of 2020, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced that beginning with the 96th Oscars ceremony in 2024, films would be required to meet 2 of 4 new representation and inclusion standards in order to be eligible for a Best Picture nomination. So it doesn't matter if your picture is the best picture. If you don't meet certain inclusivity standards, you ain't even getting nominated. This is why you keep seeing so much of this garbage happening in the entertainment industry and continuing on it, because they have infiltrated everywhere. Issuing a joint statement, Academy President David Rubin and Academy CEO Dawn Hudson explained, "The aperture must widen to reflect our diverse global population in both the creation of motion pictures and in the audiences who connect with them." Nothing wrong with that. The problem is that you want to cater to the smallest minority possible. The vast majority of people just want good entertainment. The 0.1% of people that you're desperate to cater to want everything put in that are going to just destroy a story rather than actually make it good. That's who you're looking to cater to, and that's what people have a problem with. Continues on. The Academy is committed to playing a vital role in helping make this a reality. The pair continued, "We believe these inclusion standards will be a catalyst for long-lasting, essential change in our industry." This is it here. Change starts now. We've announced new representation and inclusion standards for Best Picture eligibility, beginning with the 96 Oscars. Right, inclusion and representation standards. To be eligible for Best Picture consideration for the 96th Oscar to 2024, next year. A film must meet 2 out of the 4 standards. A. On-screen representation, themes and narratives. B. Creative leadership and project team. C. Industry access and opportunities. D. Audience development. Now, let me just run through this quickly so you'll understand what it is. A. On-screen representation, themes and narratives. I mean that you must find all people of different ethnicities, genders, sexuality, whatever, and jam them into a film. You understand me? Now, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you have a story, well, that's okay, fine. But if you don't have a story like that, you are asking people now to change the story to something else. If you have a story set like, let's say, Lord of the Rings, for instance, which they did the original Lord of the Rings trilogy that they did, it was set in a certain time period. It was done by a certain person who created it, and it was a really good trilogy. Now they expect you to put in black elves, green elves, bisexual, this one, gay, that one, that and the other, everything in it, even though the story, the original story that this book, that these movies are made of from the books, have none of that in it. You must put it in order to be eligible to get an Academy Award or to get Best Picture. They go on to creative leadership and project team. And where that basically breaks down is you have to find directors and whoever, writers and whoever, of you're going to need women of color, women here, this person have to be this, but basically whoever's working for you has to tick and check certain boxes. That's what's important. Not whether or not the person is actually good at their job. No, just that they tick those certain boxes. Industry access and opportunity. That's pretty much the same thing as the other one. You understand me? They want access to have people of all sort of different things come in, so you go a bunch of diversity hires and all kind of thing, and plus you have the academy or whoever, whatever people coming and telling you, listen, do this way, do that way, or the other. Audience development. Well, the fact that you're losing audience, that one even making sense to go for, right? Let me continue on. Some of the Academy's ridiculous guidelines require this films to include at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Like I said, if you have something set in a certain period, this doesn't make sense. To achieve the on-screen representation, themes, and narrative standard, the new regulations specifically note that these may be Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, nobody uses that term. If people ever find that offensive, stop using it. Black, African American, Indigenous, Native American, Alaskan, Native Middle Eastern, North African, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islanders, as well as other underrepresented race or ethnicity. Now, you're doing this to appease a certain group of people. Now, as they say here, Native Hawaiian, whatever. When it comes to the Lilo and Stitch live-action movie, they cast people who are indigenous actors of Hawaii. And the very, very people who you're trying to cater to didn't like it because they find these people were dark-skinned enough. These people were dark-skinned enough to do that. And because they were dark-skinned enough to do it, that means that, they couldn't do that and they're viciously attacking them online, all right? Further, other standards expand this requirement to include members of the ever-growing alphabet community, women, and even people with cognitive or physical disabilities or are deaf or hard of hearing, as well as racially or ethnically underrepresented individuals. Yeah, so we just threw it out there, all right, no problem. During a recent appearance on PBS Firing Line with Margaret Hoover, Dreyfuss was asked his opinion on the Academy's new inclusivity guidelines, and the Oscar winner didn't have kind words to express his discontent with the upcoming implementations. This is what he had to say. "They make me vomit," Jaws actor said. Upon being asked the reason why he disagrees with the guidelines, Dreyfuss declared, "Because it's an art form." He went on, "It's also a form of commerce and it makes money, but it's an art and no one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most current idea of what morality is." Exactly. And what are we risking? He then went on. Are we really risking hurting people's feelings? Yeah, because that's the biggest thing. Everybody now is so sensitive, you can't hurt their feelings. Because if you say no, if you say to them, no, this doesn't make crap, this doesn't make sense, it's crap, we're not doing it, they're going to go and cry, post bad things about you on Twitter, and that is somehow worse than the actual murder, no. He goes on, you can't legislate that. And you have to let life be life. And I'm sorry, I don't think that there is a minority or a majority in the country that has to be catered to like that. Dreyfuss then raised English actor Laurence Oliver's role as Othello in Stuart Burge's adaptation of William Shakespeare's The Tragedy of Othello, the Mayor of Venice praising the late actor's performance despite it being delivered in blackface. Yeah, this is it here. You know, Laurence Olivier was the last white actor to play Othello, and he did it in 1965, said the actor. He did it in blackface, and he played in Black Man brilliantly. To emphasize his point, he rhetorically pondered, am I being told that I will never have a chance to play Black Man? Is someone else being told that if they're not Jewish, they shouldn't play the Merchant of Venice? No. That's where the blackface thing, and I'm going to touch on that because this was done at a different time period, and again we have done it in comedies and all kind of thing, and it actually works. So I'm not going to look what I say, but no, this is a racist kind of thing. No, it actually works. And when they say they do it in comedy, kind of thing, for foreign groups or something like that, it actually works. But again, this is you acting, doing these things. That's what it is. There are many actors who are not Jewish who have played Jewish actors. We've had comedy movies where white people have dressed up like black people and tried to act like I think it happens. It happens. But no, everything is our problem now. This is why you can't have good comedies, you can't have good movies, you can't have good anything. Because everybody is so freaking narcissistic and figure that, you know, if you don't do this exactly the way that I want it done, you're somehow attacking me. What the hell, boy? He goes on, are we crazy? I wonder that every day. Do we not know that art is art? This is so patronizing. It's so thoughtless and treating people like children. Yes, it is. However, then ask that if he thought there might be a difference between a white actor in the UK using blackface to play, I think because of the ministry of slavery and kind of thing, he doubled down. There shouldn't be one because it's patronizing. Because it says that we're so fragile that we can't have our feelings hurt. We have to anticipate having our feelings hurt, our children's feelings. We don't know how to stand up and bop the bully in the face. And he's quite right. You see, this is the problem. And you see it time and time again. Even when they had the whole thing with the with Thor Love and Thunder, so that terrible movie, when they had that with that. And in the movie, Jane Foster was dying of cancer. Now, anybody who had actually read the Thor comic books, you know, because most of these people claim to be fans, but when they aren't, anybody who read the Thor comic book knew Jane Foster was dying of cancer in the comic. You understand me? But no, then they put out this big thing saying that, you know what, they should send out, they should issue some kind of trigger warning so people know what feelings they're going to feel going into the movie. I was like, it's a freaking movie. Get over yourself. The whole point of it is to make you feel things. Joy, sadness, happiness, anticipation. You shouldn't be told, listen, this is going to happen in the movie, that's going to happen in the movie, this is going to happen in the movie, that's going to happen in the movie. So you know what to feel going in. Or you can decide what you want to feel. If you don't want to feel anything, stay home in your house. Or just don't go and watch it. That's it. The same thing happened when the Batman movie came out. It was last year when the Batman movie came out. And then at the beginning of the movie, these guys with some face paint on tried to attack this man. And Batman stopped them and beat them up. And they were like, people were trying to start some crap online about because the man was Asian, who is Asian hate crime, and they should put some kind of trigger warning. Crime has no racial outlook to it. It's a movie I've seen happen. You look at it, you move on. But no, these people are so invested in their narcissism and their craziness, and they see it everywhere. And I, for one, fully support Richard Dreyfuss for coming out and saying this, because honestly, it makes me want to vomit too when I see the way that the industry, that entertainment has just bowed down to these lunatics to make them feel all special. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. You have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. You like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.